Hey there, Hastings. We're doing something a little different today. A special hyperlocal explainer just for your Friday, February 20th. We're going to kick things off with the weather so you know what you're in for. And then we'll do a little time traveling to see what makes this date so cool. Ready? Let's jump in.
We're starting with this because if you live here, you just get this, don't you? It's not just about the numbers on the screen. It's about that specific vibe our town has on a day like today. That steel blue Mississippi, yeah, that's the perfect way to set the scene.
All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. What does this cloudy Friday really mean for you? Here are the details you're going to need to know to plan your day. Okay, here it is, our big number for the day. A high of 28 degrees. That's what we're aiming for this afternoon. But as any true Minnesotan knows, that number, well, it almost never tells the whole story, does it?
And here's why. You see, the real story today isn't the temperature itself, it's the wind. We've got this brisk breeze coming in from the northwest, and that's the thing that's going to make all the difference when you step outside. This slide just sums it all up perfectly, doesn't it? High of 28, low of 19 tonight. Mostly cloudy skies, and that northwest wind is going to be cruising at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. But my favorite part is the feels like section. Proper February. I mean, you can't say it any better than that.
Okay, so we've got the forecast down. The big question is, what do you do about it? Let's talk about some real practical tips for staying warm today. Here's your game plan. First up, and this one's a biggie, a windproof outer layer. It's your best defense against that wind we were talking about. Step 2, if you're thinking about a walk down at Levee Park or over the bridge, yeah, you're going to want that hat and gloves for sure. And finally, some good news. The temperature is going to be super steady all day, so feel free to run those errands whenever you want.
And I just love this. It's so true. This is more than a weather report. It's kind of like a secret handshake for all of us here. It is definitely a zip your coat like you mean it kind of day.
All right, so we're fully prepared for whatever Friday in Hastings throws at us. Now, let's switch gears completely. Let's look back and see what kind of history went down on this exact day, February 20th, over the years. We've got 3 really interesting moments to check out. We're going to start close to home with a little Minnesota history, then take a look at the world of theater, and finally, we're going to blast off into outer space.
And yeah, we are starting right here in our own backyard. Because on this day, way back when, a decision was made that still affects thousands and thousands of us Minnesotans.
48,080. So what's with the big number? Well, on February 20th, 1851, that's how many acres of land the U.S. Congress put aside to support what would become our state university. And get this, just 6 days later, the University of Minnesota was officially incorporated. Pretty cool, right?
So while the groundwork for a major university was being laid right here, what else was going on? Turns out, February 20th also marks some huge moments in culture and in science on a much, much bigger stage. For example, let's jump forward to 1905. The American theater world had to say goodbye to an absolute legend, Joseph Jefferson. This guy was a huge star in his day, mostly for playing Rip Van Winkle on stage. I mean, he played that part for decades. It was a major cultural event. And now, for a moment that had the entire planet holding its breath. We leap ahead to 1962, right in the middle of the Cold War and that intense space race. And on February 20th, America made a truly historic leap forward. And this was the machine that made it happen, Friendship 7. It's a tiny little Mercury capsule, but its mission was absolutely enormous. It carried astronaut John Glenn on a flight that was about to change everything. Which brings us to our final number today, 3. Because on this very date, back in 1962, John Glenn circled the entire globe 3 times, becoming the very first American to orbit the Earth. It was just this massive achievement that electrified the whole country. So, from the vastness of outer space, let's bring it all the way back home to Hastings for one last thought. It's just a simple, smart reminder that even on a pretty straightforward day like today, it never hurts to keep an eye on the forecast. And that kind of leaves us with this question, doesn't it? On a day that saw the start of a university and a human fly around the world, what will this cloudy, breezy Friday in Hastings hold for all of us? Hope you have a great one, everybody.